and welcome back to my doll collecting channel. So I want to preface this video by saying that I found out that I wrote this script back in January and I never got around to filming it. However, I think it's a really good essay, so I decided to record it today and let's talk about it. American Girl stores across the country are closing at an alarming rate. Why is this happening, and what does this mean for the iconic American Girl brand? Earlier this month, which would have been January, so not this month, American Girl announced they were closing 2 more stores, Houston, Texas, and San Francisco, California. But these stores are far from the first that have closed in recent years. According to American Girl Doll News, the first permanent store that closed was in 2018 in Oshkosh, Wisconsin, and this store was the first outlet store before another one was released in Hershey. In 2018, the St. Louis store also closed, followed by Boston in 2019, which sadly was the first store I ever visited back in 2011. Also in 2019, Bloomington's store in Minnesota also closed. In July of 2020, Atlanta's store closed, and the same month, Denver also closed. But that is not all. Also in July of 2020, Kansas City also closed. In February of 2021, Seattle closed. September 2021, that was when the Hershey outlet closed. And in September of 2022, the American Girl store in Miami, Florida closed its doors. Fans of American Girl have been scared that this might mean the end times for American Girl, especially since American Girl plans to close Houston and San Francisco in the next few weeks. But for those who have never been to an American Girl store, you may have been wondering why everyone is freaking out and why these stores were so popular. For decades, American Girl stores have been a popular destination for children and adult collectors. With plenty of videos online of people giving tours and filming challenges within the store. So popular that these stores were littered across the US, but several stores also opened up in Canada, which remain open. However, the stores in Mexico and the United Arab Emirates are now closed. These stores were every girl's dream, from being able to see the wonderful store displays of your favorite characters, to getting your doll's hair done, to eating at the cafes, special events for the releases of new characters. Some stores even had theaters to put on performances of American Girl plays, and several of the stores have multiple levels, which meant hours could be spent in the store without getting bored. The large range of products mean that there is something for everyone, from 18-inch dolls that look like you, to historicals, to girl years, to contemporary characters. There are also things for younger girls, such as Wellie Wisher dolls and Bitty Babies. A few years ago, American Girl released boy dolls after fans were creating their own custom dolls at home, meaning the brand became more inclusive to male and non-binary collectors. American Girl also jumped on the trend of doll customization with the Create Your Own line, where anyone could create a doll that looks just like them or have a funky hair color and style. And recently they added traditional boy hairstyles and face molds to choose from. But ultimately, hairstyles and face molds have no gender, so just create a doll however you want. American Girl also used to have a large selection of books. You could easily sit and read for hours. There were also things for parents to enjoy, such as alcoholic beverages at some of the American Girl bistros and cafes. According to the American Girl website, quote, in 1998, the first American Girl store opens in Chicago, bringing to life all the characters and experiences girls love in an award-winning retail environment. In subsequent years, our stores spread across the country, giving girls nationwide the chance to enjoy dining, celebrations, salon treatments, and hands-on activities like nowhere else. End quote. It is surprising that American Girl has decided to close most of its retail stores, considering during the pandemic, millennials and Gen Zs were heading to these stores for nostalgia, and even influencers and celebrities like Olivia Rodrigo, who starred as Grace in the 2015 American Girl movie Grace Stirs Up Success, was visiting the store with her doll and even purchasing one in the France World Traveler outfit. You will also find several videos on TikTok where women who have just turned 18 claiming that they went to the American Girl store because they grew up as an American girl and now they are an American woman, before taking a shot from an alcoholic beverage at the American Girl Cafe. Even though these influencers are not necessarily doll collectors, in my opinion, I find some of their behavior appalling, since it purposely aims to be disruptive in order to gain more attention and views online. Meanwhile, it makes it harder for adult collectors who want to enjoy the space peacefully are judged and given a difficult time. In the media, they seem to lump the idea of influencers who are not collectors but people who want a fun trip down memory lane, which is completely fine and valid, together with adults and teen collectors of the brand, which, in my opinion, these are two very different demographics of people. Doll collectors keep up to date with the brand and new releases by YouTube videos that focus on doll news and new releases, like this channel. See what I did there? And these people subscribe to these channels and generally have an idea of what's happening with the company. Influencers generally have a goal of growing their brand and selling products to have financial gain, so they will ride a trend, and when it dies, their interest will die as well. I do not believe American Girl has a preference for either demographic of their older customer, since it seems to use both of these to further promote their brand. For example, it partners with influencers all the time on social media, but uses influencers who are also fans to run its American Girls podcast. Despite this new interest, why is American Girl closing so many of its stores? As mentioned in a previous video, How YouTube Saved American Girl, I talk about how American Girl's sales were falling in both 2018 and 2019, which had people worried the iconic brand would go under. However, this all changed in 2020 during the COVID-19 pandemic. In the pandemic, more children were at home with extra time on their hands, so they turned to social media platforms like TikTok and YouTube. AGTube, also known as American Girl YouTube, has had a strong fan base since the late 2000s, early 2010s, meaning there are hundreds of thousands of videos of American Girl dolls of unboxing, reviews, and tours in the American Girl store, and American Girl stop motions, also known as AGSMs, in the community. Since there has been a buildup of this content for a little over a decade, children had plenty of time and plenty of things to watch, and as I've learned as a YouTuber, it is very easy to influence other people's minds, which is shocking and hard to explain. How easy it is to convince someone to buy something over the internet. That will be a topic for a different video, and if it is that easy to convince an adult collector to buy from a certain brand just as a mere mention of a name, how easy is it to convince kids that they should buy from American Girl too? This created a perfect storm. Kids had more time, parents were stressed, and there were literally millions of hours of American Girl content on YouTube, and this led to more sales. According to American Girl themselves, most of their customers heard about American Girl through YouTube, and sales skyrocketed in 2020 while all of the stores were closed. Then American Girl announced it would focus more on e-commerce, hence why all the physical stores are closing. But this is one question that I have when it comes to this decision. During 2020, most of the places were forced to close temporarily, so the only option was to buy online. So of course these numbers will be higher. Also, what happens when people are able to shop again? Now that they have a new love of American Girl and have been watching American Girl store tours on YouTube for the past 2 years, and we know that people have been spending more since the pandemic in order to cope with the trauma of the pandemic. So this, at least to me, feels like a perfect opportunity to create stores for these new fans. The only reason I think they might be focusing on closing the stores is because it is more expensive when it comes to running a physical store compared to an e-commerce website. Physical stores require customer service staff and maintenance staff to keep the place clean. They also need people to create the displays, and they have to pay rent, etc. It's so much cheaper to have the bare bones facility that doesn't look pretty, but it works well to send product out to its customers, so like a warehouse. Are you sad to see these American Girl stores go? Do you have any fond memories of these stores? Leave them in the comment section below. If you want more videos on doll news and my personal opinions like this, make sure to subscribe and follow my Instagram. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you all next time.